Goku finally has access to Godly Ki, and the Tournament of Power was a great place for him to test it. And at the same time, Gohan was able to use his power a little bit more too, but also found a newfound motivation for himself. He's been slowly returning back to his normal self, and now he has a new goal in mind. Well, two actually. Become a scholar and become a superhero. Is this how he finally finds balance in his life? And if so, how does it even happen? Well, we'll be covering all that and more in this finale of What If Goku and Gohan Were Trapped in the Room of Spirit and Time. First, let's start with some stuff out in space. Moro is released from prison, able to break himself out with what little magic he has. He's feeling much weaker than normal, but if he's able to get the Dragon Balls on Namek, he could restore his youth and use the planet to gain some more power for himself too. Goku and Vegeta learn of this, with Goku realizing that maybe this would be a good test of his powers. You know, not his physical strength, abilities that he picked up as a Kai. Apparently, this Moro guy, he's a magician, and he used that magic to steal people's power. And Goku wonders, maybe there's a way for him to counter this power. Moro won't be able to use his gimmick, and Goku will be able to defeat him with his raw strength alone. Goku and Vegeta Kai to Namek, arriving there right before Moro does. He steps out of the ship, expecting to see the two visitors. Vegeta wants to fight, but Goku says it might be too dangerous. He's gonna step in and try to utilize his magic against him. He powers up into Ultimate, and Moro can immediately sense a change in his strength, but not so much in his appearance. And Moro grins. This is perfect. So much energy for him to steal. This guy's very powerful. A fight between the two ensues. Goku is not playing around here. Well, maybe at first he will, just to get a gauge of Moro's power and kind of enjoy the battle. But at some point it's clear that Moro doesn't have enough strength to even contend with Goku, at least not at the moment. He tries to steal some energy, taking it from the planet and from Goku and Vegeta. But the second Goku starts noticing this, he's able to protect himself, kinda like what Boo did against Moro in the manga. He looks at Moro and laughs. He's not the only one who's practiced with magic. And Moro's surprised. How does this random Saiyan know magic? Little does Moro know, Goku was once a student of a Supreme Kai, and kinda still is. Partially. He tells Moro the specifics aren't important. For now, they're just gonna have a battle of raw strength. Moro realizes he's outmatched here. If his magic won't work, he's gonna have to escape. He jumps up in the air, bringing out plumes of lava from the planet, trying to block Goku as he flies out into space. But Moro is then stopped, paralyzed. Goku teleports to the side of him, holding Moro in place with paralysis. You know, this planet's supposed to be a peaceful one. Moro shouldn't be messing with it. And as he's holding Moro in place, Vegeta then jumps up, also powering into Ultimate, killing Moro before Goku can even say anything. Hey, they could have at least captured him. Vegeta says he's way too dangerous for that. He'd rather take the opportunity to get rid of Moro while they have that opportunity. Well, fair enough. At least he's done with. They even hear from Maris in the Galactic Patrol that he was going to be killed, but no one actually had the strength to do it. So I guess it all kind of works out, and that arc is completely avoided. So what happens with Granola then? Well, with no Frieza around, Granola isn't as set on revenge, and the Heaters just act as mid-level planet brokers still. Granola never uses the Dragon Balls, nor does Gas. So the Heaters kind of remain low like they've been doing, with Granola never setting the arc into motion either. So that's it. That's Dragon Ball Super, right? Well, we still got Superhero, and this is kind of what I was hinting at with Gohan. Although it's going to be a much different story here. While all this is happening, back on Earth, Gohan's continuing his studies, and also channeling his power into becoming a superhero, eventually becoming the Great Saiyan. He considers using Beast as a disguise, but he doesn't accidentally want to blow up everything by transforming. Even with ki control, just his aura alone and everything about it, the form is way too OP. It would be a great disguise, but no matter how much he holds back with it, it might be a little too much. He even tries using Super Saiyan 3 for this, but decides, yeah, the hair's kind of annoying and it gets in the way of everything. And Super Saiyan, it doesn't change him enough, so costume time. Really, he just wanted an excuse for a costume. And everything's going well in his life. A lot of time passes. It's strange for him because he doesn't really have much history with school compared to other people in Satan City, but thanks to the studying he's done and the natural intelligence he has, and some strings pulled with Bulma as a reference, he's able to start at an accelerated pace in a university going into grad school even, and he's excelling. People find him kind of strange, especially one person at his university, someone else who's also a hero in the city, Videl. He didn't know of her or really Mr. Satan either, but apparently she's the next world champion or something and pretty much a hero in this city too. Obviously this is way later than they normally met, by almost a decade even, so Videl's pretty established as a hero. Almost finished with schooling too. And when the Saiyan pops up, she thinks something kinda off about him. She's been here as a hero for so long, and then this random guy just pops up, being even better than her? Something fishy's going on here. And speaking of fishy things going on, let's go over to Red Pharmaceuticals. They're trying to figure out a plan to defeat Goku and all his friends. But there's kind of an issue with that. Well, one of the things they want to do is try and draw them over to the Red Ribbon base, but they don't know how to. I mean, everyone's way too strong, or not even on planet. But they're able to find out something pretty interesting. Goku's son is actually a superhero. With their surveillance, they're easily able to figure out who the Great Saiyaman is. He's the same one that defeated Cell beforehand. And now they're going to have a new, greater Cell, so he'll be able to defeat Gohan this time around. And at the same time, they have a few other androids too. But the question is, how do they coax Gohan into coming here? They could try ambushing him with the Gammas, but that might not be enough. Especially because Dr. Hato wants to build more, but he's mostly focused on Cell Max because that's who he's told to focus on. So they're gonna have to draw Gohan here somehow, and have Cell Max defeat him. But how could they lure Gohan here? As they continue looking more into it, they find something interesting. There's another superhero in Satan City, and the Red Ribbon Army can't really tell the connection between the two. Are they rivals as heroes? Do they work together? Nobody really knows, but there apparently is a cat and mouse game between the Saiyan and Videl, with him constantly getting in the way and her trying to constantly figure out who he is. And she's powerful, but she's just a normal human still. Also, she doesn't even know how to control her ki at this point, so maybe they could use her as bait to lure the Saiyan into their base. As usual, Videl's out fighting crime one day, wondering where the Saiyan is. He's in another part of the city right now, and she's gonna catch up to him, and finally figure out who he actually is. She has a strong suspicion that it's one of her classmates, Gohan. That guy's always been weird. Apparently he was schooled outside of Satan City, and he popped up here out of the blue around the same time that the Saiyan appeared. He's always been acting fishy. Some random aircraft lands nearby, with a bunch of soldiers stepping off. She has no clue what's going on, but these guys, they seem like a threat. Especially because they're pointing guns at Videl and saying to come with them. She easily fights some of them off, surprising them with her strength, but still. They're able to capture her and take her to the Red Ribbon base. Not too long after, she finds herself in some weird location, being escorted by guards and meeting Magenta, Carmine, and Dr. Hato. She's able to fight off some more guards, with a bunch more coming in to try and stop her. Magenta's kind of surprised. She's fighting off all these soldiers so easily, but he tells her not to worry. She's not their main target and they're not going to harm her. Then she asks why she's here. Well, they need her to lure someone here, saying she'll be the perfect person to draw Gohan out here. And then, once they defeat him, they could draw Goku out and everybody else too. Wait, Gohan? That nerd from her class? Magenta finds this kind of amusing. She didn't even realize yet. He's the great Saiyan. Yep, she knew it. The army wanted to kidnap someone close to Gohan, or at least someone that works alongside him. Videl barely knows the guy, and they say that's not the point. They know that he'll come to save a fellow hero. They are still classmates after all, and they work together as superheroes. Gamma 2 then steps in. He says the great Saiyaman's a fraud. He's not a real superhero. They are. And they commend Videl. They actually respect her for being a hero too. And tell her it's nothing personal. She's just a means to an end. But she says they're not real heroes. Why would they kidnap another hero for that? Gohan's not a malicious alien like they're trying to make it out to be. Well, she doesn't know about the alien part, but definitely not malicious. And Gamma 1 says don't take it out on them. It's just their orders. They'll defeat Gohan and all the other alien threats. As Gohan's out with his normal Saiyaman duties, he eventually does learn that Videl was just kidnapped in broad daylight. Apparently some evil army came in. Wait, an army? Well, he doesn't even know where to start looking, and he tries to sense any energies he can. He doesn't sense any strong ones. I mean, he can't sense the androids, and Videl's not strong enough to even sense. But he picks up on something interesting. Goten. Wait, what? His power's heightened right now. Is he fighting someone? He teleports home, and he sees Chi-Chi and Goten standing there with a fighting stance, with Goten having just defeated a couple Red Ribbon Army soldiers easily, and Chi-Chi doing the same too. He asks what's going on, and Goten says these guys just showed up at their house and tried to kidnap them. Well, the Red Ribbon Army tried to take Chi-Chi as well, thinking maybe she'd be great bait and she wouldn't be strong enough to defend against the soldiers, but they didn't know that she actually was. It is just not their day-to-day, especially because Goten was there too, and Gohan sees the symbol on their ship and on their uniforms. The Red Ribbon Army. He remembers his dad mentioning that too. They're the same guys that created the androids in Cell. He goes up to one of the soldiers, saying that he wants to go to their base, right now. And just to intimidate him, Gohan powers up into his beast form. He's not actually going to do anything, but this freaky appearance gets this message across. And Goten tells Gohan he wants to join as well. And he warns Goten. They don't know what they're getting into. And surprisingly, Chi-Chi's all for them going there and beating up those guys. She's pissed off beyond belief. And she tells them do whatever they need to. Wow, Gohan can't believe she's actually encouraging the fighting, but alright. It makes sense after they tried to kidnap her and Goten. They go onto one of the Red Ribbon's aircrafts, being led to the base. This inadvertently did work in their favor, and just as soon as they get into the base, Gohan jumps out of the ship with Goten following. Gohan didn't even realize. He's still in uniform. But he actually should remain in it just so he keeps his identity safe from Videl. Although she's probably going to be wondering who the hell Goten is, but thankfully she has no reference of who he is. And just as soon as they arrive, Gamma 1 and 2 jump out, ready to fight the two hybrid Saiyans. Gamma 1 jumps in at Gohan, and Gamma 2 jumps in at Goten. They didn't expect Goten to be here, but hey, even better. Another alien they can get rid of. Aw, sick! More androids. Goten heard about them fighting androids beforehand, but there's more of them to fight now? He's hyped up, and Gohan says to be careful. They don't know what to expect with these guys. But he knows Goten's strong. He has been training still after all. And he powers up into Super Saiyan 3. And just as soon as he does so, he senses another power approaching. It's Trunks. They got into a fight and they didn't even tell him? He sensed Gohan and Goten's powers rising. Goten apologizes, it just all happened very fast. Trunks says it's fine, just next time don't exclude him from a fight. He powers up into Super Saiyan 2, fighting alongside Goten. Gamma 2 is actually being pushed back by the two of them, and Gamma 1's not faring so well either, especially once Gohan powers up even more. He goes into Super Saiyan 2 and easily defeats Gamma 1, then jumping in to help Goten and Trunks defeat Gamma 2. They all then power down. Was that it? They then hear someone yell out, "I knew it," as Videl fights through a bunch of Red Ribbon soldiers, seeing Gohan standing there in the Saiyan outfit. Crap, he didn't even realize. Did they even need to come here though? She seems to be handling herself just fine, and she looks over and sees the two Gammas defeated. Well, she tells them what she heard. Those two were created to kill Gohan, and they wanted to lure him in here just to get the other people to come in here as well. They're trying to kill him? What did he do? Oh yeah, he killed their perfect creation. Wait, he was the one to do that? Videl thought that it was Mr. Satan. Alright, great, another piece of info that Gohan gave away. Well, the gig is up. He changed out of the Saiyan outfit by clicking on his watch. And he asked her, please don't tell anybody. He doesn't want to take credit for Cell, and Mr. Satan can keep all the credit for that. Also, keep his identity a secret, please. Goten and Trunks sense something strange, and ask Gohan if he could feel that too. He wasn't even paying attention, but now that they mention it, yeah, he does. They then hear a voice being projected out. It's Magenta. He greets them all here, and he's impressed that they defeated the Gammas, but he tells them that's not the only thing that they have. He'd like to introduce all of them to Cell Max. Cell? What, did they make another one? Nearby there's a massive explosion, as Cell Max jumps out. It's a giant cell! They tell Videl to get to safety as they all power up. Goten didn't realize he signed up for this, and Gohan told him he warned him. But he tells Goten and Trunks that they'll be fine. At least, he hopes so. He'll protect them. He is a hero after all. He's got to save everybody here. But at the same time, they can help fight. They're strong enough on their own. Trunks has Super Saiyan 2. Goten has Super Saiyan 3. And Gohan, he powers up into his beast form. Cell Max launches towards them, with Gohan jumping in front of Goten and Trunks. He blocks a punch from Cell Max, and it doesn't hurt too much. Thankfully, Gohan's already way too strong. But Gohan starts attacking, with Goten and Trunks following suit. And none of their attacks are working. For some reason, Cell Max is just incredibly durable. Gohan's attacks are accomplishing something, but Cell Max is stronger than the normal Cell Max too. Although he's still not completed yet. The brainwashing's not done, he's still a mindless monster. They don't realize though, he has a weak spot in his head. The three of them continue fighting, and he just seems unstoppable. Cell Max's attacks aren't really hurting Gohan too much, but Goten and Trunks can't really defend against him that well, so Gohan has to do a lot of the work here. But no matter what attacks he launches at Cell, they're not really doing too much. Nearby as the fight goes on, Gamma 1 and 2 regain consciousness, and they see Cell Max raging out. Wait, that's Cell Max? That's the monster that Dr. Hato was making? Because that's what it is, a monster. And Videl's standing nearby. They can't believe what they're seeing, and she tells them, does that look like a superhero to them? He's trying to kill those three. Gohan is a superhero too, even if they don't think he is. And a small ship flies over. It's Dr. Hato. He lands near the Gammas and Videl. He tells them, Cell Max wasn't supposed to be unleashed this early. He's a rampaging monster, and he finally sees what he's created. And Gamma 1 and 2 realize how dire the situation is. They've been on the wrong side. And Hato realizes that too. But thankfully, there might be a way to defeat him. Cell Max has a weak point in his head. They just need to get Gohan to learn about that. Gamma 1 and 2 say they'll help. They could try to fight Cell Max, more importantly, they just need to get the message to Gohan. They fly into the battle, with Goten and Trunks about to fight them, thinking that they're trying to get involved in Gohan's battle. But they get them to stop. They realize they were wrong. They just need to tell Gohan something. Aim for the head. That's how they can defeat Cell Max. Goten yells out to Gohan, aim for the head. Wait, what? This entire time he had that weak point? Well, at least that's gonna make things easier. But he needs to be precise with this. Gohan puts a finger on his head, charging a Makanko Sapa, yelling out as he launches the attack at Cell, hitting him directly in the head. And pretty easily, it defeats Cell Max. Of course, generating a huge explosion too. And just like that, the Red Ribbon Army is defeated once more. They all fly back to Videl and Hato, with Gohan surprised to meet the doctor behind it all. Hato tries to apologize, but he knows there's not really an excuse. He wanted to make superheroes, and he failed at that. Gamma 1 and 2 are disappointed as well. Well, at least he realized what he did was wrong. But the Gammas want to make up for it. They still do want to be superheroes. Thankfully, there wasn't much damage done to anywhere else. But still, the Red Ribbon Army did kidnap Videl and tried to kill Gohan. It's not like they're just going to be instantly forgiven here. But Gamma 1 and 2 make a pledge. They want to be true superheroes now. They'll follow Gohan's guidance. And Videl's too. They can become superheroes in Satan City. And Dr. Hato actually likes this idea. He could become one too. He has the heart and skin after all. And Hachimaru to help him. Well, Gohan's not too sure, but they seem genuine about it at least. I mean, what are his options here? Unjustly just wipe them off the face of the map? Or let them try and turn over a new leaf? Videl's not too sure about it. But Gohan tells her, if anything does go wrong, Gohan could easily defeat the Gammas, and obviously Hato as well. And Saiyan City could use some other superheroes too. Reluctantly, she agrees. So what happens following this? Gohan continues to study, even becoming a published author as well. His biggest regret is that he didn't bring any books to study in the Room of Spirit and Time, or at least not enough. That would have helped him get a little bit more ahead. He continues being a superhero, and thankfully Videl does keep his secret, and the two start working together as heroes more, growing closer as colleagues and friends. But it's not just them either. 3 other heroes appear in Satan City, Gamma 1, Gamma 2, and Dr. Hato. And Gohan gets an awesome idea from this. They have 5 people just like the Ginyu Force, they should all come up with special poses. Gamma 1 and Videl are the only one that are a little bit unsure of it. But they eventually warm up to it, all becoming a Saiyan crew. It's amazing. Gohan's gonna become a scholar. He's become a superhero. He has a crew of friends here, and his life has completely turned around. It's not just him either. Goku's finally being taken seriously by Beerus and Whis, closing the gap between him and Vegeta and probably even surpassing Vegeta once again, much to Vegeta's surprise. He wasn't affected as harshly as Gohan was by being trapped in the room of spirit and time. He regained his optimistic demeanor, and now the future is bright for him as well, with him and Vegeta utilizing Ultimate to grow even stronger. But even though they have this same transformation, they each utilize it a little bit differently. The two prepare for another sparring match like usual. Vegeta powers up, surrounded by a fiery purple aura, utilizing the power of Ultra Ego while in Ultimate. Goku does the same, except his aura is a little bit different. He utilizes the power of Ultra Instinct while in Ultimate. And Beerus kinda regrets not taking Goku in sooner. But as long as these two could be his rivals in the future, continuing to grow stronger, he's happy about it. Despite this massive setback, Gohan has returned. And Goku is stronger than ever. It was a double-edged sword. Yeah, the Room of Spirit and Time did make them a lot stronger, but at the cost of so many years of their lives. But now, it's like it never even happened. They've moved past it, grown from it, physically and mentally. Even being trapped in a completely separate realm didn't defeat them. Against all odds, they're able to make it through, literally making it through the realm, and making it through all the mental anguish and everything else that followed. And with that, we leave off here. So, what'd you guys think about this part in the series as a whole? This is being recorded in mid-October right now, so I might end up continuing something if there's a new arc or something. I'm waiting for the manga to come back. As always, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and thanks for supporting the series as it went along. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Hopefully you enjoy this scenario, and I'll see you all in my next video.